Are we live right now? Are we recording? Man, it's been a long time since I've done one of these. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. I think it goes like this. People of the internet, welcome back to my channel. Long overdue. And welcome back. Well, I can't say welcome back. This is new. Welcome to Out of the Park Baseball 18. GM mode, sim commentary for, of course, the Premier League Baseball. I am F5 Penguin. You can literally find me all over the web at F5 Penguin. And in the last video, I couldn't even tell you what happened. I can't. I'm lying to you. If I could tell you that I knew, that would be completely lies. It's been 10 seasons. 10 in-game seasons. That's 2 weeks a season, plus like a week and some change for the off season, and around we go, much like my circadian clock that keeps me up all hours of the night. We're back. And okay. If you're new, let's pretend like I've been really good for the last 30 years of PLB, even though we've only been around for 23. Let's pretend like I've been great the whole time. Longtime viewers of this series, of which the playlist name will change from OOTP 17 to OOTP 18, will know that that's not necessarily the case. And I'll show you that because I'm a man of transparency. Look at all that red. 816 wins, 1,037 losses. This team has paid Derek Jeter back from, well, not the dead, because, I mean, he would have been like, what, 4 in 1973, $414,000 to really just drive this team into the ground. We've had 4 winning seasons across 23. I'm sorry, we've had, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winning seasons, 2 tied seasons, and the rest losses. So to say that you've missed a lot would be lying. We've left you off in 62, 63, and it's not really gotten better since then. My team's been abysmal. I can't figure out why. So we're employing a couple of new tactics. We have a new game, a couple of new pieces of information, old stat systems, things that I was looking at before, maybe not so worthy to be looked at in the future. And we're here with the Brooklyn Atlantics. Now, you'll recall we have a couple of extra things that have happened. One, we got our league, which is a league that is only supposed to be for 1 or 2 years of experienced players, and they have to be either cut or promoted. So we have that going. We had some success, but nothing to shake a stick at. We're in this rebuild, though, where I think, and I want to strongly believe, that, to be frank, we've had a lot of bad years. So we had a lot of good picks, and we're finally at the point that Zarnecki and Capra and all those guys, they're gone. They're long gone. They're retired. They're dead. Ohala, garbage. Like, we got rid of the people that we overpaid for and shouldn't have paid for and shouldn't have relied on. And we've drafted a bunch of really good, talented players. Half from my hand, half from the hand of the AI and the scout, and a small smidge to Lieutenant Brannigan, my brother, who's helped me out along the way with a couple of list picks. So we're in the off season. Okay, and this is where we're at right now. If we go to the history, you'll see after Kansas City went on, and this is kind of why I just stopped, because it's Kansas City and they annoy me. They won 5 straight because they cheat. I don't know. That's not really true. It's not true. They don't cheat. Let's just say they do, though, because it's fun. And basically, we had a couple of changes. We made a change right around the time we left off where the AI was starting to value more their prospects and less of their current stats, so they weren't cutting their first round draft picks. I think some other people picked up on that before I did and before I suggested the change, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing here with the success from Casey. Again, not true. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But we saw after that, 66, the team started really to get good. 67, Minnesota. Los Angeles in 68, Kalamazoo in 69. Somehow my brother won in 70. Kind of really was an anomaly. 71, Queens Bees in 72, Albany. So you can see the last 2 seasons, it's been in New York. So we should bring the championship to Brooklyn and the Atlantics and do Brooklyn Atlantic things, which for the first time in a long time will be winning. That'll be one of the things that we do. But You'll see here also Minnesota. Once we had a Minnesota GM, they're no longer with us. We've added a Toronto Titans GM, and that person is still with us. And our teams, all of our organization, our whole game has moved over to Slack instead of Discord. So we're on Slack now, kind of intermingling, if you will. And we have a couple of new additions to the website. So I'll throw links in the description, of course, to the website. You can follow along and see if we can actually do some things. I'm going to do some live streams now. I'm also on Beam. So if you don't know what Beam is, it's an interactive streaming platform, much like some competitors that are out there. This one's on Xbox One natively, so all your Xbox Ones have Beam, along with the show that I've been doing for a year on Beam. But that's neither here nor there. You can watch this live on Beam when I do them. We'll probably add the camera in the near future, so we'll do a face cam as well. So you can play along there. We can make some changes live on air. And I'm going to, again, start taking in everything you all say and making this happen. We've got to figure this out. We got to right the ship. We got some good players now. So let's take a look at what we're working with. And we have a couple of players in the wings trying to be signed. I don't want to tip my hat yet because I'm overpaying for like one of them, and I don't want to do that. But we're bringing back a couple of people. We're signing a few people. Here's where we're at. You may not know any of these players because, again, this is a fictional league. New people, fictional league. 1973. We started in 1950. Okay, so some things are happening. Some guys to note here, and we'll pull up the stats so you can kind of see. But first and foremost, the personality trait, that's huge for me. If I go over to meet the team chemistry, I can finally see some important things here, like outspoken, selfish players. This is the stuff I wasn't figuring out before. How do I know who's selfish? How do I know who's unmotivated? And they were just saying, these players are problems. I don't know that. Now I can really look and see, okay, if we're losing and Danemark is being outspoken or selfish, we can see that. We can take action. These are important things. So, again, these are things we're learning along the way. Zarnecki holds the leader in careers for games played, hits. Philpott has retired. I got to mention that. My teapot, he's retired. Ohala leads in home runs. Bill Hoppen wins. Salazar still in strikeouts. Now, these records will change in the future because we've upped the ante. We have more games now. There's 120 games now, I think we're up to in the season for the PLB and for all the sub-leagues. We started in R and kind of up to the amount of games in all the leagues below. So now we're going to see some records being broken. And if we see that, hopefully Brooklyn will be on the list of some of these guys. If we go to, where is it? Homepage. Where's retired numbers? I don't remember where. Here. I wrote up a little thing too for Philpott. You can read it. Nothing crazy, but there you go. So I wrote a little thing. I was sad Philpott left. So he did well for us, though. I mean, he played through, how many seasons did he play? He played 21 years, 67 days. So he didn't break a record, but he played over 1,000 games. Finally moved to DH for a while. Wasn't really getting it going. Got injured way too much. It was just kind of getting out of control. So I let him retire instead of cutting him. I know everyone got mad that I wouldn't cut him, but he was my starting guy. Like, I had to hold on to somebody. So now we've started the new since then, and we're kind of just moving forward. But I don't think he'll ever get in the Hall of Fame. Just the numbers aren't there. But a respectable third baseman, Charlie Philpott, 2 Gold Gloves, 6 All-Stars. He was a good guy. 378 plate appearances, league record that season in 57. That was kind of fun. So anyway, yeah, getting back to the important things. Pitching staff, you may not know these players, but some players of note for you. Jesus Diaz, he's been in our club from the beginning. He's finally coming up and kind of making a home at the starting lineup. I don't know yet. I'll drop these to pitching stats so you can kind of look at the numbers along with us. Hildreth was a prospect that's kind of moving away up. Same with Girardi. Guzman is in the last year of his, actually, I think he's in his first contract year. Yeah, his first contract year after being with the team forever, kind of fit in and kind of has grown to be a starter. We thought he would be a closer for a while, and then he grew into being a starter. I think he's good there. Quesada's been a spot fill. You can look at his stats here. Back and forth for a couple of seasons, finally making his way to the main roster, and we still have another year on his contract. So that's good. Turley finally getting the call up last season to play in the majors. He was growing up since, when did we get him? Because if I go to history, I think we had him in the 63 Frontenacs. When did we draft him? 66. So yeah, that was after the videos had ceased. I tell you, moving was crazy. How to get in a new rhythm in a new home, I tell you what. So we had Turley, we had Verdeja. He's been in the seasons with us for a while, since 67. Moved up quickly. Draft pick, 7th round from 63. So a couple of good guys we have going in, homegrown at least. And then, of course, we did pick up a lot of people that are on some pretty expensive salaries. You can see that here. I overpaid for a couple of guys. We're kind of just feeling it out and seeing what's happening here. Just picked up Martin Maloch this season for a cool 80 grand. So it's just a 2-year deal. But he's a fan favorite, and fan interest needs to go up because we were in dire straits money-wise, and then we were losing games. Now we don't really have a good fan interest. So that's a problem. If we look here, we're good money-wise now, but I mean, I dropped ticket prices to 68 cents to get people here, and they weren't coming. So we're 20th in budget. That's okay because we don't really pay attention much to budget. 21st in player payroll. You'll know that Mickey Draper Jr. is our owner now. His dad died. 19th in attendance. That's our big number to bring up. And you can kind of see the history for revenue and expense. You can kind of see it for attendance. I've slimmed down over the past 5 years, not trying to overspend. So we'll see if we do that well. There's one guy I'm going to pay a little bit for. But otherwise, you can look at the salaries here and see that it's not that bad. 1.9 mil. Some guys got like $3 or $4 million salaries so on their whole payroll. So we're going to hold off on that and kind of see if we can bring these young guys up a little bit and get them to grow. We have a lot of talent, so let's get that talent going. Over on the offensive side and in the field for our hitters, we do have a DH now, by the way. That's an important thing. Pitchers are not batters. Something to keep in mind. If you see a DH out there, let me know. But Andy Varela, okay, he's been important. 1968 first-round draft pick, finally getting to start this season. Really excited for that. And a bunch of people are actually. We re-signed Guizar. We got him in a trade from Wichita. We had him for 4 seasons at $500K. Did pretty well for 3 of those 4 seasons. And we got him for $150K. Overpaid a little bit, but I have them cash. Anything over $2 million we lose anyway. So might as well spend a little bit if you have it. Got him for 2 more seasons he wants to be a starting lineup. We'll probably get him in the DH role, as you can see here. Riojas, again, look at this guy. Bolted right up, okay? Started last season getting the call for a couple of pinch spots. 32 days up on the roster. Now we have him full-time up here. Expectations of a bench player, but he was killing it in AAA, so I couldn't leave him there for too long. I bolted him right past single A just because his numbers were that good. So at 23, I think he's going to be a good addition to the team. Alex Leon, another example of a homegrown guy, first overall pick in 66. So you can see these players starting to turn around and grow into something big. Those are new. Remember, scouting accuracy is low, so don't trust the head scout all the time, but kind of weigh that out with OSA and kind of take both with a grain of salt. You can see his WAR was good. His numbers were good. So we're going to give him the start here in second base. Al-Hadef is our second guy, 19th round pick, but not too bad in AAA. His numbers have been kind of okay. He's been hanging around AAA for a while. At 28, he's going to kind of be a utility player, or we may have to cut him because we're going to end up having 34 players on the major league roster before the season starts. We'll have to bring that down to 25. We may cut 1 or 2 guys, or we may send some people down to AAA and kind of let that filter through down to single A, maybe make some cuts, who knows. But that's something to look at. Cologne, nothing to shake a stick at. We picked him up last season as a third baseman because we've been struggling to find a good third baseman. You can see his numbers are respectable enough that I am okay with keeping him. He's 32, we'll be okay. Elzade, Elizalde, another example of a player that's been spot starting for us, right? So you can see his numbers here as well. Not the greatest, just kind of sitting. He might be somebody that we just kind of let go. I don't know if he's going to get any better than he is right now. His numbers haven't been too great. Hitting-wise, yeah, but outside of that, I mean, just fielding-wise, we've been having some trouble with him. It's just not been getting there. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Danny Murillo, we got him in a trade from Toronto, shortstop. He's somebody of note as well. So you can kind of see it's just not, some pieces are not shaking, but the main 2 things is Matt Carroll. This will be his second season starting up here, first round draft pick in 1970. He's up. He's really good. 12.3 WAR in college, above 2 in both single and AAA. So we got him up here. Didn't do so well last season. Got injured a lot. Only played less than half of his games. So we'll see if that turns around this season. And Larry Pete's going to get the call up. He's been hanging around AAA for a while. First round draft pick in 65. So you can kind of see the young guns. I kind of related to the Syracuse Crunch going to the Tampa Bay Lightning now. We got that going. We brought back Stephen Carroll last season. We let him go. We got taken advantage of in a trade, I'd say, with Laredo, but that's okay. We're back with him, and we're going to see what that happens. So good things. And we got another rookie here, Escobedo. He's 3 years in on a 5-year minor league contract deal, doing some pretty respectable numbers, fielding not so much. So I'm trying to just balance out the defensive with the offensive. We need some bats, and that's kind of where we've been struggling. Basically, since I started this, I can't figure out how to get the bats going. So that's going to be a challenge. You can see we were pretty much dead last all last season, and that's nothing new. It's been that way for a while. I didn't touch the team much last season, just kind of got busy. But every time I've been active too, it just hasn't been there. So we're trying to turn it around, slowly putting the pieces together. Got to figure out who to send down. Got to figure out how to shape this team to be something that we want to do. And I have a good feeling that we're going to do it. So I'm going to leave this right here. Link in the description below. You can check out all the information about my team and the Premier League Baseball. You can check all that out at the website. I'll put that in the link. So again, this is Out of the Park Baseball 18. Brand new game. I love this new game. Loads faster, looks nicer. Great job to the guys putting out this game for sure. I love it. Can't wait to play more of it. Can't wait to play more with you. This is Out of the Park Baseball 18 GM Mode Sim commentary for the Premier League Baseball. I remembered all the things I needed to say. Hasn't been that long. I'm back on the horse. I am F5 Penguin. You can find me all over the web at F5 Penguin, of course. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.